Unity. Unity. Indeed, unity is strength. If I collect some of my lectures from that were given to me in the early 2000s about the time we call it professional adjustments along the line of change in perspectives. We looked at characteristics of a profession, and at that time we were arguing as to whether nursing is a profession or not. So we have to look at a number of criteria to determine whether our profession or what we practice as nurses can be classified as a profession. Number one, we have a body of knowledge of our own. That is fantastic. The other important criteria is a professional association. And that association has a responsibility to safeguard the interests of the profession. And across the globe, every country has a national association. And our country also has a national association for nurses and midwives. And eventually, our own 1992 Constitution of the Republic also talks about freedom of association. But what interests me most is that most of us are quick to quote freedom of association, but the last consequential part, we don't pay attention to it. Because it says you have every worker has a right to join a union. And the consequential part is for the protection of his or her interests or rights. Now, you and I, we are employees of an employer, and we all have an interest. We have economic interests, we want to be paid well, we have social interests. Just look at it, everything that concerns you as far as your work is concerned is an interest that we have. But what we do not have as individuals is the chance to sit with your employer as an individual to negotiate for yourself. That we do not have as individuals. The only way that can be done for us is through a union. That's how come we have Canada Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. And this is a union from its inception to now have been working and negotiating on behalf of nurses. Now, I understand, even though in other countries, every nation has only one national association for nurses and midwives, including the advanced countries. The only thing you see is the specialized groups, those who are specialized, those who have advanced practice, they have groups under the Manda National Association. But in our country, I don't know what is the reason, we have more than almost five unions in the same profession. And out of these five, it is only GRNMA that holds the bargaining certificates that actually negotiate for every single nurse and midwife in this country. And that's a fact that you can verify for yourself. As much as possible, every union is a human institution. And so long as human beings have weaknesses, unions also have weaknesses. And the fact that there's a weakness in a union is not a guarantee that, oh, let's form a new union. The simple question I want to throw to you is, assuming you are an employer dealing with the same category of workers, and they have 5 different unions, will you take them serious? Which of them are you going to work with? And let's also come back to ourselves. In the multiplicity of this union thing we are talking about, how does it help us eventually? I was thinking that since we say unity is strength, it's rather if you identify a weakness. Some of us, right from the beginning of our career, we saw some of the challenges, and we think that we can offer something, and we join to contribute our quota. It's rather we have that opportunity. If you see weaknesses, it's rather you come on board, contribute to your quota. Let's build a formidable union for ourselves. If today one union declared that they are not satisfied with a certain action, therefore they take a certain action. For example, they want to go on other members of other unions don't see reasons with them, what become of the action? So if today GRNMA is declaring a strike that we want our training to start from first degree, if we don't stop all certificate programs, we are going to lay down our tools. And other unions say we don't see it, reasons like that. And these are also members of the profession. What become of that drive? So eventually, even though people are making an argument that competition is good, but not every competition is good. Unionism is not about competition. One thing about unionism is solidarity. I am because you are. We support one another. We become a family. That your needs become each member's needs. So basically, that is the situation. But I just want to speak briefly about membership. First and foremost, GRNMA is a professional association, but it plays a union, trade union responsibilities. Professional association simply means that once you qualify and you are registered by Nursing and Midwifery Council as a nurse or midwife, you are a member. And that is across the globe. Every country you go, nurses have national unions of nurses. It's a professional group. And our interest is to safeguard the profession itself. But along the line, we have trade union interests where we have to negotiate for our salaries, our conditions of service, and all that. That is the trade union aspect. But it appears in Ghana we focus more on the trade union aspect. We only think about conditions of service, salary, and all those activities. But there are a lot more, because in other countries, national associations for nurses and midwives will have to be consulted before they even take decisions in health. Example like Canadian Association, before even the government take a decision on certain policies in health, that leadership must be invited to have a dialogue with them. But because we focus more on trade unionism, we are losing that aspect, and I think it's time to need to come back to that one. But briefly, let's talk about our responsibilities as far as membership association is concerned. How many of us have looked at our placements? Those who are in employment, how many of us have looked at, let's say, August and the payslip? Okay. So, I saw only one hand. It means that we don't check out. Okay. Yeah, we all check. Yes. If you check, you must see 3 different deductions on your payslip. And one of them, which is dear to my heart, is the Nurses Fund. The question is, why do we have to establish Nurses Fund? At the time, our forebears, the predecessors, have observed that nurses retire and they have difficult retirement financially. Because until single spine has come in, the salary of a nurse is woefully inadequate. And even single spine is still woefully inadequate. How many of us here have personal pension plans, are putting money aside for our retirement? Even myself, I'm not sure my plan is adequate for my retirement, even there are a few years to go. So the same way across the general membership. So the association thought that it is wise that we put some of our money aside for retirement. That's how Nurses Fund is established. That Nurses Fund is your personal contribution, your provident fund. So when you retire, every kobo you contributed, plus the returns the money made, comes back to you. You will take everything back. The association is not using it. The money does not even come to the association account. When October deducted, it goes directly to the custodian, that's the Republic Bank. From there, it's credited into your account. I'm sure some of you have been receiving text message from Access Pension. If that is true, that information is concerning your investment. If you're not receiving that statement, you can download Access Pension app. And then I'm sure the district leadership will have the contact details. If you're not able to log in, then the contact details they can share with you. You can call them, they'll help you, so you can check your statements. Then the other one is the membership dues, which is 2% of our basic pay. This excludes your market premium. it is only the basic pay that the 2% is charged on. And that is what they use to run the association, right from national down to the district. But obviously, the district level, it is having observed, and I agree that the support to the district is hopefully inadequate, and the national leadership together with the National Council is taking serious steps to augment the district level in terms of running the association. Then the last one that you can see on this list is the building levy. Now the building levy at the time was proposed to build the national secretariats. And after the national secretariats was built, the council at the time thought that it's a group that will replicate this facility in all the 10 regions of Ghana at the time. As we speak, 7 of them are completed and in use. Volta region also has its own share of those who are completed. We have 3 more regions. I think that the central region, the guest house is completed, but the conference hall is now under construction. Western region is also undergoing the process, and then Upper East. Northern region, even though they completed this, they have serious defects that they are now working on. So basically, these are the contributions that we make every month to the association. Perhaps if you have questions, I think that will give me more opportunity to throw light on some of the challenges perhaps we may have.
Thank you